All right, we are gonna play a prison league here real quick. I made a couple quick changes to the deck. Uh, I am testing out some sideboard slots in two Leyline of Combustion, and I also upped the Sorcerer's Spyglass count to two. I feel like I've been wanting this card more and more, and I'm almost thinking about even trying to put it in the main somewhere. Some lists have already tried. A lot of mud lists do that, but the Leyline of Combustion is new and spicy, and I kind of want to try it. I don't feel good about my Storm matchup, so anyway, if you want to give this a watch, we'll jump through a league and see what we can make happen. Hopefully, this will be some good information for you. Uh, well, I guess we're waiting for a minute on an opponent. I should have thought about this part. There's not a pause button on this anymore. But basically, like overview of prison as a whole, you don't want to keep a hand that doesn't have a strong turn one play. So like you want either a good curve out with a turn one play, or you want to go like in on a turn one play with some mana left over. So at the core of the deck, I mean, I know I described it as like Belcher with a backup plan, but it's a good way to play the deck, right? Your individual cards don't matter as much as your shell functioning cohesively. So just being able to like dump your hand into play and then hope you top deck better as your opponent is like reasonable, or as reasonable as that can be in Magic. So I think we benefited a lot from the London Mulligan, but boy, this is taking forever. There we go. Maybe I can go back and edit some of that out, but maybe I'll just upload the whole thing. You'll have to wait on these legacy things with me. Depends how long it takes. If it takes too fucking long on all of them, then I'll probably just go back and edit them. But we'll see. I thought that opponent wasn't gonna join. Right. So this hand, we've got a lot of mana, which sucks. But we're on the play the turn one Chalice and a turn two Magus. Um, we have to ask ourselves, is that going to be good enough? And what happens if one or both of those plays gets countered? We don't really have any way to follow up. I know I was just talking about like you have to hope you top deck better than your opponent, but this is just a little egregious, and especially under the London, I don't like keeping sevens like this, so we're gonna mulligan. This doesn't have a strong turn one play, but it's got a lot of action after that, so we're gonna keep this just because it's a mulligan, and I'm gonna put back probably Fiery Confluence. I think it's our least impactful card. So I'm going to play a Mountain and pass to our opponent. Likely the jig is up, and they'll know immediately what that means, but maybe they don't. So this is probably the 4-color pile. Maybe it's Storm. Could be Storm at this point. Thoughtseize. This seems like a pretty Storm start. I guess we should wait to see what he takes. But if we draw like Chalice of the Void, I'm pretty confident just slamming this Blood Moon and putting that on 0. Unless he takes Blood Moon, but this Rabble Master is going to be a quick clock, so if he's Storm, he better be damn sure of that take, because these Rabbles will kill him in like 3 turns. So he doesn't have time, right? Like the Storm deck, given enough time, will always go off. But just like the Polluted Delta and Underground Sea into Thoughtseize, there's very few decks that play that main deck. He could be some sort of blue-black control deck. I've been testing with that. This is a line that could come out of that deck. And I mean, that's not a deck that's unheard of. Okay, he did take the Blood Moon. Good thing we got 8 of them. Oh, buddy, more Rabbles. Oh, yes, we're just gonna rabble. We're just slamming into the red zone with all of these, but I'm like reasonably certain he's Storm. So this attack is going to be for 1, put him down to 16. The next attack, if we resolve another Rebel Master, is going to be for 2 tokens, 3 tokens plus the Rebel, so that'll be 5, 8. He's dead the turn after next if he doesn't deal with us. Ooh, this was really good for us. He is like, he's some sort of control deck. Oh, wow. We could slam Chandra here, but I don't really want to. I just want to slam in with another Rabble Master. Unfortunately, our other Rabble does have to attack now, but frankly, I just want to put on as much pressure as possible, and we're not dealing with this Baleful Strix by just waiting forever. So we're going to slam in here because we have to. Again, other goblins attack each turn if able. So like we have to slam. There's no option for that, right? These goblins all have to attack. But now we're kind of putting him under duress, so to speak, because he needs to come up with an answer to what we're doing, because our game plan this game was very, very proactive. And this is why I like the Rabble Masters in the deck over, like, some people are cutting them and starting to run more main deck answers to things. I don't like that. I still like the Rabble Master plan because there's a percentage of games you're going to play that are like this, and you just draw 2 Rabble Masters and your opponent can't answer them and they die. Now, we haven't won this game yet. I'm not saying that, like, by any stretch, but it's reasonable. It's a reasonable game plan that this deck can do. Is he Gurmag angling? It would make sense for how long this is taken. Oh no, he's gonna him me. Okay, oh wow, missed the last rabble. Look, we did it. See, sometimes Magic is just a little bit about luck. It's funny, I even thought about playing that last turn to play around Days, but decided not to, so I didn't really talk about the line. Fuck yes. I know we can. Okay, can we end the game if we rabble here? Rabble Master here makes 2 tokens, which would be 5. This would be 7 plus 5. Actually, Rabble Master is just outright lethal, so I'm gonna jam here. If it wasn't, I would 100% jam this Magus of the Moon, because his mana would just look really, really bad under it. But this is actually lethal, so we're not concerned about shutting him off mana for next turn. So, okay, our opponent died to a flurry of Rabble Masters, which is about what we want, just in general. That was good. I did see that they were Grixis in colors. They're likely like Grixis control. The Grixis control deck, I don't know how many lightning bolts they play. So I'm going to consult our handy dandy MTG Goldfish. And we are going to look at them real quick. So, Grixis control. 1 Fatal Push, 3 Bolts, an Angrath's Rampage, a Liliana's Triumph. 4 Force of Will, 1 Force of Negation. Okay, so they've got forces for days. They've got Blue Blast? Did I see a Blue Blast? No, okay. Alright, whew. But let's see if there are other configurations running around. If this is the case, I honestly don't know if we're actually going to board anything here. Okay, this has 2 and 2 with Liliana's Triumph. Oh, we did see him to Turok. Did the last list we look at play him? It only plays 2. Okay, all right. So we don't know for certain, but we do know they run lightning bolts. I tend to not love Magus of the Moon and lightning bolt matchups. That being said, we're not really keeping on it. Things that we do like are Trinisphere. Trinisphere locks them out of the game very early. They're a mana light deck, so this is just a must counter, which I really like. We could bring in these Ley Lines of Combustion and try to get them on our shit getting... Actually, I kind of like that. This is like a matchup of inches. So if we exile those to like... If we exile those to our Moxes, we're great. And if we don't, we're fine. I'm going to bring out a Lotus Petal because we're lowering our turn 1 Blood Moon density anyway. Which, again, is likely correct. Magus of the Moon is just not what you want to be doing in a lot of these matchups. They can answer it too easily, and if that's like your lock piece, it tends to be very fragile. So we're going to go for this. We're going to try out these Ley Lines of Combustion. We're going to see what happens. But him being like a Thoughtseize and removal deck, I could reasonably see it being very good. And this hand is right on the fringe. I want another mana. I want like one red mana because I can cast that turn one Chalice. I'm reasonably certain I'm not getting Wastelanded because tricolor decks have a hard time doing that. He could still be 4-color Wrenn and 6 pile. I'm not turn winning a Blood Moon, so I'm going to mulligan this. You can be very liberal with mulliganing your 7-card hands that don't do anything. This hand is phenomenal, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we're going to throw back this Fiery Confluence. Our first turn of the game is going to be Ancient Tomb Trinisphere. And if he has the Force of Will, great. If he doesn't, we are going to turn 2 Karn him, and the game is fucking over. This hand is basically exactly what we're looking for. Turn 1 bait, turn 2 kill. Or maybe we just get Thoughtseize here. Damn it. He could just ponder. Oh, he's gonna ponder. Okay, he's gonna be a good boy. We don't have the Blood Moon, but honestly, the Trinisphere is a high enough turn 1 play, especially followed by this turn 2 Karn, that I think this hand is wholly worth it. Because like, we're not really trying to play a backup plan with this deck, right? Like, we're doing what we do, and if what we does works, then we win the game, and if we don't do it, then we lose the game. And it's like hard for some people to accept. I'm going to see what he did with that ponder. He chose not to shuffle. Okay, now this is a Blood Moon. It changes things a little bit. I could just jam this Blood Moon here. He's already got an island down, but it'll keep him from likely getting a whole bunch of other colors. That being said, usually these kind of lists only run like one other, and this Trinisphere actually locks them out of interaction, so that's what we're going to do. We are just slamming this Trinisphere in here, because if he doesn't counter this, then he's locked out from countering our next play. So, oh, yes! Okay, so it's he would need to Wasteland us here to stop us from just jamming Karn next turn. Or if he plays a non-basic that's not a fetch land, we would probably just Blood Moon here. If he fetches for a non-basic, actually, I'm pretty sure we're just Blood Mooning here. Oh, man. Alright. So we could absolutely put this Blood Moon into play and limit him to like a spell a turn, but I think it's better to just get down Karn because win conditions, and his ability to force them is non-existent right now. I think we can afford to neg 2 here. But what do we target? Witchbane Orb is interesting because we could stop him from like Thoughtseizing us or anything. I think we're just gonna grab Liquid Metal Coating, Thoughtseize be damned, right? If he like Thoughtseize or hymns us and gets it, we've got other ways to get it back into the rotation of the library. But honestly, like, I would rather just be able to like play it and shut him down next turn because that seems like a much better line, right? If we can just stop our opponent from playing Magic, then we win. And if we lock him under Trinisphere Liquid Metal Coating, then it's very, very bad day for him. And he could like him us here and miss, right? Like, it's not guaranteed to be Thoughtseize. If he does Thoughtseize us, he shields down for the next turn. Yep, and he missed, so we win the game. We have no red mana, but we don't need it. Oh my god, he shields down completely. 2, 4, 6. Hey, we did it, chat. We did it. We're gonna go get 2, 4, 6. We're gonna go get so we're under the Trinisphere, so he can't force this. We're gonna go get Micah Synth Lattice. We're gonna tap for 4. We're gonna play another Sol Land. We're gonna tap for that, and we're gonna put a Micah Synth Lattice into play. And now our opponent can't produce mana, and we win. Way to go, chat. We did it. And that's how you win with Mono Red Prison. You get incredibly lucky, and it's just a play to your outs deck, right? Like, you have to play to like what you know is good. You have to play to your outs. Oh man, this could be some grade A salt. We're not gonna get to see it. He sent us a message. Hey, but that's how the deck works, right? Like, that's as intended. Again, another great hand. because we get to turn one Chalice of the Void, and we've got Trinisphere, and we've got like all the best lock pieces in our deck plus a win condition. Like, how do we throw this back? Obviously, like it looks like we're against 4-color pile, maybe against like Sneak and Show. Show game log. He did not shuffle. It's weird. I see a lot of players not shuffle off their ponders. We're going to jam this Chalice for one and see what happens. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Are we getting dazed? If you have Suited Spirit Guide in your hand, daze is hilarious. But like, if he dazes here, we're dazed. It's clearly not like paying for that. But we now have to make our opponent think about it. The more he thinks about it, the more I think he either doesn't have a hand that can compete against this and he's fuming at his keyboard, or he's not a deck that cares that much, or he's a deck like Show and Tell, where they have a lot of 1-drops and he can... No, he's not. He fucking dazed us. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe he doesn't have much more protection. You've got to like pay attention to how long your opponent tanks and what kind of decisions they're making versus what you've seen. Because like that tells us a very specific thing. Maybe it wasn't very good against them now, but it could be good enough against them that they want it. These are the kinds of things to be like watching out for with the deck, is because like a lot of times you're just like you need to know what your opponent's deck's doing better than they do, basically, because like to lock them out of playing the game, you need to know what they're capable of. You need to know what the best CMC of cards in their deck is, which sounds a lot more daunting than it really is. It really just takes exposure to the format and learning like what to look for, right? Like this is a Volcanic Island, a Daze, a couple Ponders. Show and Tell doesn't typically play Daze, so we're starting to rule that out. This is looking like maybe Teamer Delver, or like Rug Delver, or at least 4-color Delver nonsense, right? It's looking very much like a Delver deck because Daze is not a card that sees a lot of play outside of those style of aggressive linear, or like very aggressive blue strategies. I'm thinking maybe my opponent might be streaming, or they might just be slow, because some of their decisions have taken a second. Okay, that's a Magus of the Moon. That's very good. So now we're going to jam this Trinisphere, but we need to know whether we need it, want in it off of Ancient Tomb to play around another Daze. I think that's important enough. Yeah, so I'm going to take the damage here, just knowing that if they have Daze and if they have Force and it gets forced, like, yeah, that sucks, right? We paid an extra 2 life for nothing. But if they have Daze and this gets... if this resolves because they can't daze it, then they're off casting spells for 2 turns. And if this is the Delver deck, they actually don't really run any basics. So we're going to get to Magus of the Moon in this turn. If we drew another mana that was like a fast... Oh no, we couldn't under the thing anyway. So now we have them under Magus of the Moon, which they probably have a Bolt for, but it's going to cost them 3 mana. And we've stopped hurting ourselves with our own lands, which is relevant. Maybe we'll draw another one. Hey, we did. This is the game plan, folks. He's going to force this one, which means he can't kill the Magus this turn. Oh, he had the Daze. Hey, important fucking lesson. Play around the Daze, okay? He had it. He fucking had it. He just exiled it to Force of Will. We would have got dazed if I would have just played that mountain. That was a good play. That's clutch. That's the kind of shit you need to be looking out for. Hopefully, Simeon Spirit Guide, I think, might actually be our best draw here, because we could Karn plus... oh my god, he did it main phase. Fuck! We don't even have to. Our opponent's locked. Oh my god, yes. Okay. Hang on. What do we have to do here? We can Karn off our 2 Sol lands. We go to 8. But do we have to use our 2 Sol lands? Yes, we're gonna have to use our two salt lands no matter what. We could play a mountain and play liquid metal coating. Okay, we can go mountain, Karn, go get liquid metal coating, cast liquid metal coating, and shut down one of the lands. Or we could Karn plus bridge, both off the mountain. Or we could play City of Traders, play Karn, and neg Karn for Witchbane Orb, which would stop them from bolting us anymore. Because we're going to be taking a lot of damage this turn. So this is actually like a legitimate decision that we need to think about. Is there anything else on our sideboard that we'd want? Liquid metal coating is a clearly obvious one. Another ensnaring bridge. I think Witchbane Orb is actually really strong for us. But since we've got to use both our charges on this anyway, I think it's better to just Karn and neg go get liquid metal coating. And then we want to set an upkeep stop. Because we want him to use a spell there if he has it before we shut his mana off. This next turn is going to be interesting. It very much depends on what he does. If he slams a threat into play, we are absolutely just dunking on this fool. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so Ren and 6 can just buy back. Alright, here's what we're going to do. If we up on the Trinisphere and attack with Trinisphere, it's technically a line, but it shuts off Trinisphere, which maybe is fine for a turn. But if he has Lightning Bolt right now, well, Lightning Bolt's pretty scary anyway. Maybe that is just the play. It means we don't get to strip mine them this turn. But strip mining them isn't good anyway. Okay, yeah, we're going to go with that line. Seems like our opponent's F6'd. Alright, Renin 6 is dead. Play a land. We should have... Oh, we couldn't play Ensnaring Bridge first. Play an Ensnaring Bridge. Maybe our opponent won't know the Trinisphere interaction. Alright, he either didn't know or didn't have it. We're going to pass to them. And I'm going to attempt to stop them from using one of their lands. Cool. Alright. Well, if he didn't know before, he knows now. Which could punish us, but felt like a good play to get. Oh, yes! Alright, sweet. So, yeah, I mean, we got there. I think that was a good play. With them only having 3 cards in hand, that was really the tipping point to doing that. Usually you don't want to do that, but they've already used a bolt, and it just felt pretty good. We could bring in a Leyline of the Void to stop Ren and 6 value engine stuff, because, like, if they alt Ren and 6, it's still a problem for us. And if we bring these out in, then like their alt doesn't really mean a whole lot. Oh, we could. Oh, I think I actually just want to bring in a spyglass as well, to name Ren and Six. So what's important with this deck when you sideboard is you have to keep in mind that our colored spell ratio for Chrome Mox is not great. So like when we're looking at colored spells in this deck, like we are looking at pretty bottom of the barrel numbers, like the lowest I've played since I started playing the archetype. So, well, these two are still like in sideboard flux. Uh, this is 38 cards that do not pitch to Chrome Mox and 22 cards that do. It's one of the only reasons that I like the build still running the 4 Confluence and stuff is because they have clearly left enough fodder in for the Chrome Moxes, which is honestly a little bit of a problem in my list, I think. But I want to bring these two in, and I want to bring out a Lotus Petal because the goal of this matchup is not to be faster than Delver, especially on the draw. And then I think I don't want... Oh, another red deck. The Magus of the Moons are also less good. Maybe we just want to cut 2 Magus, but honestly, Magus is so good versus this deck, I don't really want to. So I think I'm just cutting those, and then we can look at the deck. We brought in 2 colorless cards, took out 1 red and 1 colorless card, which I don't love. You know what? Maybe we just need to have faith that Ren and 6 doesn't do anything. I'm going to keep in the 4th Magus, and I'm going to keep a Sorcerer's Spyglass in the board. I think I only want the Spyglasses against, like, Gristlebrand. And, like, maybe Mind Sculptor decks. I don't know. There's very few things I feel like I actively need them on. This hand is bad. This is one of the worst hands we can look at. This is part of the deck. We're mulliganing this. Oh, I don't love this. Especially on the draw. Okay, Angel mulligan to 6. Do we also mulligan to 6? I think so. So I don't hate mulling here, but I also don't love it. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to keep and pitch Chandra back. Because there's so many live draws in our deck. Like, a Mana Monkey's great. We took the Lotus Petal out, but, like... our opponent almost skipped his first turn. But he caught it. That's why this huge pause has been there. Whew. We could draw a Simian Spirit Guide. We could draw a Chrome Mox. We've got just like a lot of live draws here to turn 1 this Blood Moon, and I like that. So, but we didn't. So now we've got to watch this Delver blind flip. Maybe not. Nope, didn't flip. Nice. And he fetched a non-basic there. That's an important cue to look for. If they fetch a non-basic after knowing what deck you are, it means they don't have basics. Which means jam a Blood Moon into play as quickly and efficiently as you can, because you're not getting a better chance to win a game for free. Simian Spirit Guide, I think, is our best draw in the deck, because we would get to City of Traders with Days backup. So our opponent's just going to do some cantripping here. Maybe play like a Nimble Mongoose or something. I think our hand is incredibly well situated for the rest of this game. Right. Alright, well, we're doing it. We're jamming this into play. And if he has an answer, which he's likely to, he has it. Yep. Oh, but it took a force. A force. It took a force. That's good. That's good for us. He revealed a Ponder. That's also good for us. So we know his hand is Ponder and an unknown card. Oh, this is real good for us. So this is looking likelier and likelier that we'll be able to resolve this Blood Moon, and then just keep going from there. He exiled a true name. Right now, we need to decide how much we can play around days. So I can play the second mountain, which I will if and only if we draw another land next turn. Um, he chose to shuffle. Okay, so if and only if we draw another land next turn, I'm entertaining the idea of just of floating 2 mana off the City of Traders, playing a land, casting Blood Moon with Days back up. It was Spell Pierce anyway. Shit. Alright. Well, we need some help. But our opponent's not on a lot of cards. So, maybe we'll still be able to get there. Oh, so many Karns. Alright, now we're in race mode. But he has a lightning bolt, which is unfortunate. So he did the correct thing there. He stopped me during our main phase, so we didn't get the token. That's smart. That's good play by our opponent. It's something to watch out for in these decks. If they stop you at the end of your main phase, you don't get the token. You have to move to combat. So we're just waiting for our opponent to figure out what he wants to do. It's weird because Chrome Mox with these Karns won't produce mana, but honestly, I think a Chrome Mox is one of our best draws. All right, here's what I'm doing. I am jamming a Karn into play, and if it resolves, I'm neg-2ing him. And I'm going to go get a Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm going to cast a Lion's Eye Diamond. All right, and then we're going to pass to our opponent. So here's our game plan now. Our game plan is now to resolve an Ensnaring Bridge, sack LED, neg Karn for something to be cast under Ensnaring Bridge, and hope that Ensnaring Bridge wins us the game. Honestly, it's probably just going to be another Ensnaring Bridge. We're not in a great spot. If we draw like in City of Traders, we're in a slightly better spot because then we could go get something like Witchbane Orb, which would allow us to be insulated a little better from lightning bolts. I guess I shouldn't be auto-yielding here just in case our opponent tries to blow up our LED. I'm pretty sure I just want to sacrifice my hand and try to top deck. No, that's not right. So he's likely attacking Karn here. If he doesn't attack Karn, well, that's just the bee's fucking knees. Yeah, fuck yeah, he didn't. Oh, this feels good. Alright, alright. We're going to cast Ensnaring Bridge. We're going to see if he has any responses. We're going to neg Karn holding priority. We're going to sack LED. We're going to go get Liquid Metal Coating. We're going to play that. Since his shit can't attack anyway. And we're already cold to bolt. Oh, shit. Maybe we should have just got another bridge, but this answers that too. Tilt. Yeah, that's sadness. Alright, well, we go to 1. But we could top deck another Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, nope, we're dead. He had the bolt anyway. Alright. I'm still fine with that. I'm still fine with everything that happened. I think that was a pretty close game. That's kind of how the Delver games play out. They're always a little closer than I feel like they should be. But that's just kind of what Delver does against our deck, and what it really needs to do. So, just waiting for our opponent to sideboard. There's an argument for Leyline of Combustion, but we talked about those last game. This has no turn one, so I'm going to mulligan it. This hand is fantastic. We're just going to go Chalice 1, Chalice 2. And if they counter either of those, we're going to do it again on the next turn. Yeah, this is a dream hand against Delver. I think we're just throwing back the Mountain because we've got Spirit Guide as a mana, and we'll hit a mana eventually. I will keep. Or maybe we throw back the City of Traders. Oh, because turn 1 we don't have to play around Daze, but we can't follow it up with a turn 2 1 for 2 if we play Mountain. Hang on. If we play Mountain. Oh, but we could Ancient Tomb. We could Ancient Tomb Chalice on the 1, then untap, Mountain, and Chalice for 2 with Spirit Guide. No, I think pitching the Mountain is correct. We've got the most of those in our deck, and if we just draw Mountain next turn, that's honestly one of the worst draws we can have. So I'm kind of glad we just only have one. So, right now we're kind of just on the colorless plan, but like this will shut off a large majority of their deck. So we're leading on Ancient Tomb, and we're putting a Chalice for 1 into play. Yep, it resolved. Oh no, the Wasteland! Well, now we might regret putting the Mountain. Oh, shit. Oh, this is great. He doesn't have Force. Does he? Oh my god, he sandbagged it on us. He's so good. All right. Good game, opponent. You got me. So we might just lose here, which is like, it is what it is. Yep. I guess we're going to Chalice for 1 again to make sure he can't just blow up the 1. I mean, this could still, like, this is still a game, right? Like, we could... No, I'm not going to pay that. I can't believe he dazed my second Chalice for 1. He definitely has an answer to this one. Alright, well, he clearly doesn't want me to have that. I would have rather done that for 2 to shut off his Ancient Grudges, but, you know, shit happens. Tarmogoyf? Oh no. Oh, Cinder Vines. Alright, opponent can't cast spells anymore. We win the game. Nice. We did it. We did it, chat. Man, we could still lose this, but it feels pretty good for us right now. Triple Chalice hand. Yeah, buddy. Tries to get there one way or the other. And he's at 13. We're cranking away. Eventually we'll draw lands. Or not. Maybe we'll kill him with just 1 land in play. Look, this is what you got to do with the deck. Like, these sorts of play lines, though, I feel like are what people are missing, right? Because I'm just, like, slamming into this dude with this 2/2 with 1 land in play, and he's fucking losing. Why? Because his deck plays an unreasonable mana base. Sick, we found another land. All right, we have 7 cards in hand. I'm actually just going to hold this Chrome Mox. I'm not going to give him an excuse to do anything. And it doesn't increase our clock, right? Like, oh. I'm just going to slam this Blood Moon into play because that's what's causing him all the trouble anyway. Excellent. So now he's double Blood Mooned. He's at 1. I'm fairly certain we win. He's going to start firing off 1 CMC spells, I'm assuming, just like to show his frustration. But he's probably just sacking Cindervines to blow up one of these. Probably the Chalice on 1, maybe. But like he's at 1, right? Like what's he going to do? It's okay, Angel of Death. You've met your death. And that's okay. That's okay. Well, I guess we're gonna sit here. Boy, our opponent is not happy. They're just not happy that this is happening to them, and that's okay too. And here's the concession. Boom. That was right on cue. I know how this works. I know how this works. All right, Angel of Death got by Mono Red Prison. So the deck is all about just like getting on the board, right? Like that's the whole thing. That's the point that I want to really stress home is that when you watch my play patterns, it's all about getting on the board. If you want, you can consider this like a control deck, right? But all of your control is on board. You're not controlling them by like force of will. You're controlling them through cards like Ensnaring Bridge that say they can't attack, or like Chalice of the Void that say they can't cast spells with the CMC. So like. This hand has no mana. I mean, I understand it has a Spirit Guide, but it has no mana, so we're going to mulligan. This hand has bad mana, and we're on the play, so we're going to take the opportunity given to us and mulligan. This hand is phenomenal, even though we have to put back 2 cards. We are going to... We're going to exile Spirit Guide to this Chrome Mox. We're going to play Ancient Tomb, and we're going to put a Blood Moon into play. And if that wins us the game, that wins us the game. But frankly, we're on a mold of 5. So we play the Chrome Mox first. So if our opponent counters it like some fucking madman, thinking that like we're all in on that 1 mana source, we can still have the monkey to do the monkey things. My opponent's name is Doomwake. I don't know if that means they're running Doomwake Giant or not, but here we are. They lead on an island. Fuck you, opponent. Alright, so Chrome Mox was a bad draw there. Unfortunately, I really wish we would have had just like a land so we could have played our Rabble Master, but that's okay. Holy shit, he's Stifle Knot. Yeah, he's... What the fuck? Alright, he got me. He got me. Holy shit. Mono Blue Stifle Knot. You've seen it here first. Sometimes you lose to bullshit. This is a super metagamed deck, and a lot of what that means is that you have very polarizing matchups. So you take them the good with the bad. You just do what you can. I'm going to take out a Blood Moon and put in a Trinisphere. Frankly, because we don't have anything else to do. None of this shit is good against them. We have to keep our Wishboard intact. The ley lines aren't good. Like, I think this is just going to be a loss if it's a loss, and that's okay. Like, you just kind of have to play this deck that way. Like, you're going to get a lot of free wins, and you're going to get a lot of really bad beat losses. But again, that is kind of the deck, right? And it's a little bit the format, which makes me hate it like less. Hey, chatta chatta. My cat just busted in. But so our plan here is just an early Trinisphere because they're a very low costed deck, and like they have a 2-card 1 CMC combo, which also means we're looking for chalices. So this hand technically turn one's a Rabble Master, turn two's a Karn. Is that good enough? I could go get Ensnaring Bridge. Turn one Rabble, turn two Karn. When we know we could just mulligan and try to find like a Chalice. See, this is hard. Also, like double City of Traders, right? Okay, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't think we have a real cohesive game plan against this deck, so I don't know how much better this gets if we wait. We're just going to try to overload what they need. So exile Spirit Guide to Chrome Mox when you can. It just turns it into a permanent mana source. It's far and away the best thing you can be doing there. That long pause likely means that they have a counterspell. They just didn't know if it was going to matter. Rabble kills very quickly, though, so there's a chance. Okay, so I actually think if we don't draw anything relevant, we might just not play Karn this turn. Oh my god, yes. Yes. Okay, he just didn't have anything. See, so those again, just get on the board, right? Like your cards will outpower theirs a lot or invalidate theirs a lot. You just need to get out there. Like you need to push. And that's a big thing with this deck, and it's hard for some people to learn, right? Like you just need to get out there. Boarding is still pretty hard with this deck. I'm curious whether I need to be bringing in my Ensnaring Bridge. Or the last one. This hand's a keep. This is great. If we get a fast mana spell off the top, then we can turn one Chalice off a mountain. If we don't, then we can go in with the city. I think Chalice on one is important enough, and I think we need to get down as quickly as we can. I think we're getting dazed. Forced. Okay, he is forcing. With a blue blast. Interesting. Echoing Truth entered the revealed zone. That's unfortunate. But I think we're just going to smash this Trinisphere and just hope to ride it to victory. If we draw Chrome Mox, honestly, I think that's one of our better draws, because we could Chrome Mox out this Fiery Confluence to clean up the board, or we could Chrome Mox out this Trinisphere to set up for a Fiery Confluence cleaning up the board next turn, which I like considerably better. But our opponent did not shuffle. More mountains. All right. Well, we're very much in danger of Trinisphere locking ourselves here, but I don't think we've got a lot of like recourse. If we can resolve this, the game's pretty much over. As long as we can recover, the game's on us to lose, I guess. I don't know why I did that instead of a Lotus Petal. Fuck. Now we're just gonna kill that thing. Alright, we're gonna be good, and we're gonna attack first. Alright. I guess we could have just done 4 more damage to him and put us at parity, but like this just felt so much better. And also, we're just drawing out of it anyway, so we'll just cast this Spirit Guide next turn. Oh shit, he found his mana. What up? Alright, so now we're going to cast the Simian Spirit Guide. And we're going to keep beats. Oh, what's he doing at instant speed? Oh, Echoing Truth, the 3-ball, I bet. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so if he has the combo, he's made it a little bit of a game. But we could still top deck like an Ensnaring Bridge or a Karn here. Like, there's a fair amount that we can do as well. But I would not like to see a 12-12 across the side of that table right now. No, he had it. Ugh. Alright. This does not feel great. Oh yeah, shit. I was just dead on board. My bad. That league, I I didn't even think about the fact I had trample, and then I just didn't block anyway. But that's okay. We were dead on board. That league was unfortunate. I think that was like pretty handily ours to win. I think we played the best we could, but like that sort of shit's just going to happen. Like we also played against fucking Stifle Knot, right? Like the deck is horrendous. It just requires like multiple things. Like imagine if somebody flusterstorms that Stifle to keep your only permanent in play. Like what are you actually doing there? We're going to keep this hand because we do have a turn 1 Chalice off this. We're just going to have to pray that we top deck better. Like a Sol land right off the top could be great. But honestly, if they force this, we just play a Mountain and play another Chalice. This hand hedges pretty reasonably well. So we're going to Chrome Mox and exile this Magus. And then we're going to play this Rabble. If it gets countered, we've basically set ourselves up that most of the draws in our deck are super live. Dope. But our opponent just concedes to that. Are they Stifle Knot too? Hang on, who did we just play against? League details, there we go. Oh, we played against Doomwake. No. We didn't just play against this guy. Alright, he conceded to Chalice Trinisphere, and he played an island. Or no, he conceded to Chalice Rabblemaster, he played an island. This could be Storm. This could be Delver with a really bad hand. This could be a lot of things. So what I want to do, just as a general board, since I saw an island, I'll take out a Magus, and I will leave in a Trinisphere. Sometimes I take out a Blood Moon, but maybe I do. Oh, that could have been a bad Miracle start, in which case the Blood Moons are way better than the Magus. So yeah, okay, all right, I like this. As a rule of thumb, you can take out a Magus and like just a bunch of matchups. I don't know what I think about this hand. So this hand has the Lattice. You know what? It has Lattice mana, and with a red card off the top, it has a turn 1 Rabblemaster. I don't think we're in any place to like argue about what this hand does. Yeah. Oh, fucking counter that. We're probably going to get dazed here, but that's fine. We want the counter spell out of our opponent's hand. Yep. I wish we had another red card. Like, one of these lands as a red card would have been a great hand, but it is what it is. We could have played around it there by just, like, not going, but I think not going is not the way we win this. Oh, shit. No, we're super dead. I'm just not even going to worry about this game. Like, we can't even, like, get out of that with Karn very easily, and I'm just, like, not into it. Right. And now we know what we're playing against, so we can keep a better hand. I think against this current iteration on the play, you want all of your Megas and Blood Moon effects, because, like, if you chalice for one into that, they just can't win the game anymore. I almost want... Okay, I'll take out a Lotus Petal here. Lotus Petal is another one that comes out a lot. Man, if this hand had one land in it, I would keep it. Okay, this hand's pretty great. So we're going to start off on a chalice for one. We're going to put back this chalice. I think this... we don't plan on casting a 3-drop on turn 1. So that Chrome Mox is redundant in the hand. We also only have one red card, and it's a red card we don't like actually mind having if we just draw like a Spirit Guide or like another Mountain next. Like Mountain is one of our worst draws, and so you're constantly looking for ways to make Mountain not your worst draw, right? So we are just going to put a Chalice for 1 into play. And our opponent's on 5, so the likelihood they counter that pretty low. And what did I say about the motherfucking Spirit Guide? But we are going to sandbag that a turn, because if he has Daze and tries to get us, we can pay it with the Simian Spirit Guide. And it'll let us next turn just empty our hand completely out. So this has been a pretty good series of turns for us. So here we could uptick her and play Rabble Master, but I think I just want to kill the Dreadhorde Arcanist, especially since he can't bolt us because of the Chalice. I think just keeping his board clear is where we want to be at. Cool. We're going to uptick Chandra, see what she gives us. Ooh, a 3-ball. I'll take that. And since he had no responses to that, we go ahead and play our Mountain, and we slam this Rabble Master into play. This is the power of the deck, and this is why I still like the Rabble Master plan and shit. Yeah, look at that. Look at how easy we've won these blue matchups. We are now 3-1, and going into the final round to try to get the 4-1 here. Good showing for the deck. I'm glad I got to record this league. Some interesting decisions have come up, and you really got to, I think, see, if you've at least watched it or been listening, I think you get to see a lot of my insight into what hands do and why I keep hands, what the deck does, right? The kind of outs that I'm playing to, and I think the deck can look like you're really just top decking and like you're random a lot, but like I've spoken through all of my lines, like, or at least most of them, and if I need to explain them again, feel free to message me a timestamp and I'll talk the shit out of it, right? Like, this deck is about playing to your outs and being the best that you can be. One second. This hand could turn 1 Blood Moon. This hand could do a lot of just mana things. Oh, see, the thing is, this Chrome Mox is kind of just a dead card, which sucks. But if the matchup is good enough for it, and we draw a red sword, like any red card off the top, we could just go for the turn 1 Blood Moon, but we're like sinking our whole hand into it. But we still got the turn 1 Chalice, so I think I'm going to keep this. In the blind, you just kind of keep hands that do this. He chooses not to shuffle. All right. So here we're going to play an Ancient Tomb, and we're going to Chalice for 1. Basically, no matter what we draw. The only thing that would really stop me from doing that is if we draw a 3-ball off the top. When I refer to 3-ball, it's Trinisphere. So if we draw a Trinisphere off the top, that's really the only thing that would make me reconsider into jamming anything other than that. But it's another mountain, which is likely the worst draw in our deck. We are in some serious trouble if this gets countered. It didn't. If it's irrelevant, I think we're also in a lot of trouble. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear 1 turn too late. Opponent could be High Tide or Miracles. Miracles. Narset, Parter of the Veils, not going to do a whole lot against us. We don't draw cards. But it does get him a Force of Negation, which I'm assuming he may use... Oh no, he can't. He can't use it on the Blood Moon. Because Trinisphere was in play. So. Oh no! This game is going down the toilet rapidly. We need to get out of this very, very quickly. Karn would be great. That was not a Karn. Yep, this game is getting away from us. Okay. He might just have the swords here, though. Oh, but we have a Chalice for 1. Oh, shit. Even worse. He has the Mentor. Alright, so we are just going to attack Jace because he can't cast a spell right now. And if he wants to trade Mentor for this, he can, because we've got another 2/2 in the wings. No, you can't cast that, you dumb fool. Trinisphere. So he's trying to cast a 1-drop, so he could just eat our guy. But we're not going to let that happen, because we're not idiots. We're not playing into that. So we're going to jam the Simian Spirit Guide. Alright. So this game is not very interesting. Miracles is not a good matchup. He left a card on top of our library, which is not good for us. Post board, we basically just have to be faster. I don't think my configuration is that good against that. But we'll see. You know what? I'm just gonna concede before he sees the Karns. Oh yeah, fuck no, we weren't getting out of that. Right. So I want to bring in a Sorcerer's Spyglass actually, because I don't want to get hit by. We need another answer to Jace, and since we're playing 2 in our sideboard now, that was actually the reason, is so we can do that. Leyline of Combustion is actually probably pretty solid against them because we just want to play the value game. So I'm going to try it because this is one of the matchups that I was thinking of. Cards that are not as good. Ensnaring Bridge, not as good in this matchup. I usually like a couple, but with the Karns, I'm really not a huge fan. So we're going to take those out. We're going to take out a Magus. We're going to take out 2 Maguses. They play a lot of basics. Your Blood Moon effects aren't great against them anyway, and this will just let us. The Blood Moons are better than the Maguses because they don't get swept up in Terminus. They also can't get Swords to Plowshare, so Blood Moons are more permanent, and Magus the Moons are kind of temporary. So a turn 1 Blood Moon against Miracles, a lot of people will not think is that great, but they only run 2 planes in their whole deck, and their best answer to any of your threats is Council's Judgment, which is a double white spell. So, like, leave your Blood Moons in. But this is not a favorable matchup for us. Really, we just need to be more aggressive. Like, we're not the control deck in this. We are just trying to kill them. This hand looks great. We've got turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 3 Ball, turn 3 Chandra, and I realize that's like basically the same thing we had last game, but our opponent was ready for it. I mean, what can I say? Like, I can't fundamentally change the way the deck gets played. All right, so he's Force of Willing because you watched the life go down. Hope we don't get spell pierced here. Oh, sick. That means Chandra resolves next turn. Wow, this game's really, really good for us now. This is insane for us. All right, our opponent's gonna fetch. They can't do anything because they're under the Trinosphere. No, we're not going to do anything with that card. It's going to go into exile and deal them 2 damage. Dope. Oh, wow, and no land. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck yeah. Ho, ho, yeah. All right, so that's how we beat Miracles. You stick them on 2 land with your Trinosphere. No, but seriously, like those sorts of interactions are key. That's why we bring in the 4th Trinosphere. That's why we like bring out some ensnaring bridges. Like we really just need to be efficient. And as you saw there, they had Tundra Island. Blood Moon coming down is why they conceded. Like they conceded outright to Blood Moon exactly because Blood Moon is not a bad card in this matchup, despite what people think. You can cut them off white frequently. Maybe I want to up another Magus, but I don't think so. Maybe it's probably better than one of the ley lines. Maybe the ley lines just aren't good. I was thinking it would be a good hedge against Storm. Okay, so this hand looks great. We are going to turn 1 something. Probably a Trinosphere. Although, frankly, you don't keep like a not force hand against this deck unless you're a madman. So maybe I don't lead with Trinosphere. Maybe I lead on Blood Moon. Okay, so Magus of the Moon is actually interesting because if he kept on Force of Negation instead of Force of Will, I'm going to put him to the test. I'm going to exile a Blood Moon. Six cards. Chose not to shuffle with the Ponder. Do I just force him to have... Nah, I'm going to do this for now. So you expect your first spell to get countered. So, okay, just like that. There you go. And he had the Force of Negation, too. See, I had a good read. It's just like there was really nothing. He had them both. There was nothing I could do to play around that. But what we're hoping is going to happen is that next turn we can slam this Trinosphere into play. And that's our gravy train, really, when it boils down to it. So I'm actually going to play City of Traders here so that we can play around Spell Pierce. Also, we don't have to take damage. Another Force of Will. Okay, all right, you got it. That's cool. No land. That's good for us. All right, 1, 2. I'm going to Chalice for 1. 1, 2, 3. We're going to Blood Moon. Okay, so the likelihood we've cut him off white mana is high, and we've cut him off of cantrips. Now we're going to cut him off of forces. Dope. So this is it. This is like it's a constrictor pattern, right? Like you land a lock piece after a lock piece after a lock piece after a lock piece, and eventually you win the game. And how we're going to win the game here, it was before we were just like hands down slamming Chandra, but like Rabblemaster is a much quicker clock, so we slam him down. That way we give our opponent less draws to beat us. And just like that, we have a 4-1 with Prison. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you gave it a watch. I consider myself to be a pretty good player of this deck. I play it a lot. So hopefully you've learned something from it. And of course, like I said, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. We're going to open one of our treasure chests just because we did dope. Fuck yeah, 20 play points and an awful enchantment. You know what? I'm okay with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one.